Imagine moving into a quiet suburban home, only to find that something terrifying already lives there, a place where furniture moves on its own, children are thrown from their beds, and voices echo from nowhere. This is not the plot of a horror movie, this is the true story of the Enfield Poltergeist, one of the most chilling and well-documented hauntings in modern history, a case so strange that it shocked police officers, journalists, and even paranormal researchers. What happened inside this small council house in North London has been debated for decades, but for the Hodgson family, it was no debate at all. For them, it was pure terror. It began in August 1977. Single mother Peggy Hodgson lived with her 4 children, Margaret, Janet, Johnny, and Billy, at 284 Green Street in Enfield, London. At first, life in the modest 2-story home seemed ordinary, but late one summer night, the children complained that their beds were shaking. Peggy dismissed it as bad dreams. That same week, loud knocking sounds echoed through the house. Drawers slid open on their own. A heavy chest of drawers was seen moving across the floor, as if pushed by invisible hands. Terrified, Peggy called for help, and that's when the haunting of Enfield truly began. Neighbors rushed over after hearing screams. When they entered, they too heard the knocks, rhythmic, deliberate, impossible to explain. Soon after, local police were called. One officer, WPC Carolyn Heaps, later swore in an official statement that she saw a chair slide several feet across the floor with no one touching it. The police admitted they could do nothing. But even they were shaken. It wasn't just the Hodgsons who believed, the entire neighborhood began to whisper, something inside that house was alive, and it wasn't human. After the police left, the activity inside 284 Green Street only grew stronger. Furniture shook violently. Toys were thrown across rooms. Knocks echoed from the walls night after night. News of the haunting spread quickly, and soon, paranormal investigators from the Society for Psychical Research arrived. Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair moved into the Hodgson home to document the events. They witnessed chilling phenomena. Chairs flipping over by themselves. Janet, the 11-year-old daughter, speaking in a deep, gravelly voice that sounded nothing like her. Objects levitating in midair. The investigators recorded hours of audio and took countless photographs, many of which remain some of the most famous paranormal evidence ever captured. Grosse and Playfair stayed in the Hodgson house for weeks. They documented everything, sounds, photographs, and even neighbors' testimonies, but what they heard shook them to the core. A deep, guttural voice coming from Janet, a voice claiming to belong to a man named Bill Wilkins, who had died in that very house years earlier. The recorded voice said, "I used to live here. And I died in this chair." The recordings lasted for hours. Later, doctors examined them and stated that an 11-year-old girl could not produce such a deep, prolonged voice without injuring her vocal cords. Quickly, the media caught on. Local newspapers, the BBC, and even international journalists came to Enfield. Photographs of Janet being thrown from her bed made headlines. Reporters who entered the house claimed to witness objects moving on their own. But not everyone believed. Skeptics suggested the family was seeking attention, or that Janet was play-acting. They argued the photos showed nothing more than her jumping or falling. Yet dozens of independent witnesses, police, neighbors, journalists, swore they saw things no child could fake. Over the next 18 months, more than 2,000 paranormal incidents were recorded in the Hodgson house. Chairs and tables levitated. Toys flew across rooms. Knocking echoed endlessly from the walls. Janet was seen floating in her sleep. The Hodgson family lived in constant fear. Nights were sleepless. Peggy cried often, saying, "I just want my children safe." As time passed, the intensity of the haunting began to fade. By 1979, most of the activity had stopped. Janet later admitted she sometimes felt a presence in the house, but the violent phenomena never returned with the same force. The Enfield Poltergeist remains one of the most famous and documented hauntings in history. Books, documentaries, and even The Conjuring 2 were inspired by it. But the debate continues: was it all real, or a brilliant performance by a troubled young girl? Even today, paranormal researchers point to the Enfield case as some of the strongest evidence for the existence of the unknown. Years later, the Hodgson family tried to live a normal life. Janet admitted some events were exaggerated, but insisted most of it was real. You can't go through something like that and forget it. Even today, I feel like something is still with me. Paranormal investigators still call the Enfield case one of the strongest evidence of the unexplained. Skeptics remain, but the sheer number of witnesses, police, journalists, neighbors, can't be ignored. The house at 284 Green Street still stands. Most families report peace, but a few whisper of strange sounds at night. The Enfield Poltergeist is more than a story. It's a chilling reminder that some places hold secrets darker than we can ever imagine.